Hi, I'm Lindy with Rust-Oleum. I'm going to show you how to transform the look of your countertops with Rust-Oleum Home Designer Series Countertop Coating Kits. This coating system allows you to paint right over your existing countertops, avoiding the high cost and labor of replacing your countertop. And it can be used over a wide range of surfaces like laminate, vinyl, butcher block, concrete, and stone. And the application process is super simple. Each kit includes a cleaner, a base coat, veining paint, designer top coat, and 2 rollers. So when I'm done, this countertop will look like marble with a beautiful high gloss pearl finish. So this not only elevates the look of this kitchen, but also provides durability when using your countertop. I've pre-planned my design and I chose to go with the Designer Series White Marble Kit, which includes the white base coat and the gray veining paint to create the faux marble design. The white marble kit can also be tinted in a variety of solid colors with the high gloss pearl top coat if you don't want the marble look. So to start, I'm going to clean out this space. You want your room to be clean to avoid lint and other debris falling onto your surface. And you may want to limit any air movement by closing nearby vents or windows until it's fully cured. Now let's prepare the countertop. I had a few areas that needed a little spot cleaning, so I'm going to use the cleaner that was included in the kit to clean that area. Then I'll rinse the area and allow it to completely dry before applying the base coat. Next, I'll want to protect anything that is next to the countertop to prevent the product from getting on it. So I taped off the edges of the countertop and placed plastic sheeting over the appliances, sinks, faucets, cabinets, and the floor. I like to use long pieces of tape on the underside of the countertop to help with avoiding any of the drips that may form and then harden during the designer top coat application. So now I'm ready to paint. Each of these kits cover up to 50 square feet, so depending on how large your space is, you may need multiple kits. But keep in mind, if you're using multiple kits, you'll want to mix all of the base coats together to ensure color uniformity. So for this countertop, I'll need to apply 2 coats of the base color to ensure good coverage over the original surface. But for darker base colors, you may only need 1 coat. I'm going to trim out the backsplash and edges with a brush before I roll. Then once trimming is done, use the 6-inch microfiber roller that's included with the kit to roll out the rest of the countertop. Be sure to delint the rollers to help minimize roller fibers in your paint. And to prevent lap marks, I like to work in 4-foot wide sections, keeping a wet edge as I roll it. And if you're painting over a tiled countertop, you can actually paint right over the grout. So let the base coat dry for 4 hours before applying a second coat, any touch-ups, the veining paint, or the designer top coat. So now that my second coat of base paint is dry, I'm going to start my marble design with the veining. I found examples of real marble that I'm going to use for inspiration and use the pattern as a reference to map out the way I want the veins to flow over the whole layout. And just to make sure I like the design, I'm going to practice the technique on a piece of paper or cardboard ahead of time. Again, I'm using the gray veining paint that is included in the kit. Marble veining is buildable, customizable, and a layered effect, so you can create a look based on your preference. First, I lightly spritz water into the surface, and then I use a small artist brush to add thin, wavy lines. Using a light touch, twist the brush as you create the vein. When I want to blend and soften a vein, I spritz with water and then lightly dab with a dry bristle brush. This helps soften the veins and create depth. It's also helpful to keep a rag handy so you're able to dry your brush when it gets too saturated. And if you don't like the look of a vein, you can remove it by spritzing it with water within 30 seconds and wipe it away before the veining paint even dries. Or if you really want to start over, you can easily apply another coat of the white base coat and start all over again. As I create more veins, I like to step back occasionally to make sure my design pattern is well balanced. Since my countertop has a backsplash, I'm going to extend some of the veins there to connect the overall design. Allow the veining to dry for 1 hour. So now that the base coat and marble veining are dry, it's time for the last step, the designer top coat. I gently wipe the surface before applying the designer coat to remove any dust or debris that may have fallen onto the counter during this process. Also, check that your tape near any of the appliances is still in place to prevent the epoxy from dripping. The designer coat is a unique coating that will protect your countertop from scratches and provide a high gloss pearl finish. It comes in an easy to use burst pouch that eliminates the worry of proper mixing. Before you start, Make sure you have enough time to apply the designer coat, as it needs to be applied within 45 minutes to 1 hour after mixing. First, massage the corners and shake the pouch. Next, place the pouch on a flat surface and roll from one end to the other to force the middle seam to burst. Then shake it for 3 minutes, rotating the pouch to ensure that the center seam is separated to fully mix the product. Now the designer coat is ready to be applied. Like the base coat, apply the designer coat by working in 4-foot sections. Remember, the pouch covers up to 50 square feet, so be sure to portion out your material so you have enough for your whole project. Again, be sure to use a new, high-quality paintbrush to trim the area and coat the backsplash, dipping your brush from the poured mixture. Applying 2 light coats to the backsplash to help avoid any drips. Once the trimming is done, use the foam roller that is included in the kit to spread the designer coat. Be sure to delint this roller as well. Gently push the roller to spread the epoxy until it is evenly distributed. The epoxy is self-leveling, so you don't have to overwork the coating, which can cause it to spread too thin. Spread the coating, allowing it to drip off the front edge of the counter and onto the plastic. Then lightly roll to ensure good coverage. As each section is coated, do one last final roll, moving in the same direction, rolling from the back to the front to minimize roller lines. Inspect each section with a bright light, looking for any missed areas, lint, or debris. If you see a bare spot, lightly dab that area with the corner of your saturated brush. If you find any lint, use small tweezers to remove it immediately. Remember that you only have 1 hour after bursting the pouch. Any longer and it may leave a mark in the coating. So 1 to 2 hours after designer coat application, slowly remove any tape that was placed around the perimeter. The epoxy is self-leveling, so if you remove it too soon, it may drip onto the cabinets or appliances. If you leave the tape on until it's fully cured, it will become part of the epoxy. If you notice any drips on the front of your countertop, you can use a stir stick to clean those up. Allow the designer coat to dry for 12 to 16 hours for light use, then wait 72 hours before replacing any large or heavy items. I don't care if I did do this myself. This room transformation looks amazing, and the countertops are definitely the star of the show. I love how the Rust-Oleum Home Designer Series countertop kits really elevated the look of this kitchen. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you're inspired to refresh your space with Rust-Oleum.